Hey little painters. Okay, today we are going to carry on with our googly-eyed dinosaur up here. This line is just a string that I've got holding that up there on the thing, so we're not going to draw that line, but we're going to draw this cute little dinosaur with the googly eyes. You only need a few colors, mostly yellow because that's your background, blue, a little bit of white, and a little bit of black. So also the same 3 brushes we normally use. That will be this big brush. Let me turn the camera a bit. So you're gonna have your big brush, sort of a flat one, little medium-sized ones, just a little bit smaller and flat, and then some kind of a round one. Doesn't have to be really big, can be even smaller than that if you have one. We're not all gonna have the same brushes, so that's okay. We are gonna start off with our dinosaur head, and I'm going to start off just like I do with just about everything, and I'm going to make a little bit of gray. So I'm going to take some white on the edge, put it over there, and a little bit of black on the edge, make a little bit of gray, because this is going to be easier to cover over. Go to the edge if it's too dark. I want you guys to see this, but I don't want it to be too dark. So when I did this one, I did like a little circle for his nose. We'll start off right here and we're going to draw like a circle for his nose, and we're going to cover it over with paint. So right here, sort of almost in the middle of the page, because we want to have his body going past it. So you're not going to start your circle way over here, because then there's going to be no room for his body. So move over, get to like the middle of the page again, but not too close to the top because we have to give him a pointy head. So come down a little bit and do a circle like that. That's going to be this part right here, this circle right here. So we're going to go up from top of his head and we're going to give him a pointy head. So it's pointy like a triangle but round, and then it's going to come down, but it's going to come past his head. It's going to come past his head this way. And it's going to be a big, long, swooping thing. Don't have to go so far down, because the next step, let's try giving him his little mouth. So his little mouth comes here. It's like a little line there. See that? It's like a little, what would you call that? It's almost like a little U there. So they've got his head, we've got his mouth, and then right from the corner of his mouth, you're going to come whoop, down like that. So this line might change. Okay, we've got the little swoopy lines. Then right here, because we want to have him a hump, but we don't want it to touch his face. So right there, come down a little bit. Let's go and down and curl up. And curl up. That's his tail. So depending on how far over to the side you went, that's how wide his body's going to be. Got it? Okay, let's do his legs next. His feet, I should say. So coming down, we want his feet to be down here a little bit. We're going to do some of those fun little sideways smiles that we always do. So there's one here, and then there's one here. Just where his tail starts to swoop, because then we're going to go like that. Swoop, there's his tail. So you can see that those legs are farther down, and then we're just going to give it a little bit of a line. It can be straight, but make it a little bit round, sort of like a little bit of a smile. And then come over here. See right here where his neck meets his body, right in that little triangle there? That's where you're going to come down, and you're going to make the front leg. So let me show you what that looks like. So coming straight down from here, then his front leg is going to be swoop. Don't worry about that neck if it's wrong, but it's going to be the same as this one. It's not going to be way longer, and then it's going to go swoop. And then make that line across. But you see how they are the same? One's not way down here. If it is, we can fix that. Let me show you. You've got a wet, clean brush. Watch how you can make that go away. not if you're using paper. So that's a wet clean brush. You get it wet, clean it off like this. See how it's going away, and then you dry that on a paper towel. Then you go back in and you dry it on the paper towel. It's almost all gone. You want to get it almost all gone, because if you're going to take this and put yellow over top of it and smoosh it into the yellow, it won't be yellow. It'll be a really ugly shade of yellow. So we want to try to take care of that. So we're going to have a line there like that. There you go. Now let's give him a belly. So where this is, if you want to draw a line right through so you know that your belly's lining up, you can do that, because we're going to cover it with paint. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's going to go, don't worry about that line there. We're going to cover that with blue paint. But now his little belly is where it should be. So this neck came down. Then we have to draw a front leg. So we are going to go right here. And this one is a little bit shorter because it's farther back. So you see how it's not as far down as that one? Did that on purpose. We have to do some toenails, and they are just little rainbows. 3 little rainbows if you can fit. If you can only fit 2, that's fine. Little rainbow, little rainbow, little rainbow. You're only going to get 1 probably on the front one. So there you go. Now we can fix his neck a little bit. Alright, so I want his neck to come out and be really round, so it's even going to be rounder. It's even going to be rounder. What do you think of that? So for the next part, all we're going to do is eyeballs. So right where this circle was, don't worry about all that stuff in there. We'll cover that up with blue. We are going to go round eyeball. Get some more. So here's your round eyeball. Don't worry about all those other lines. They don't matter. So this is the smaller eyeball. Now we're going to do the bigger eyeball. I'm going too fast. You guys are just going to put me on pause, okay? So this big eyeball, I kind of want it to go outside of that one. So I'm going to start over here. Oh, make it a great big eyeball. Great big eyeball. There, 2 eyeballs. And that is your dinosaur shape. Okay, so now maybe we'll get a blow dryer and we'll blow dry his eyes so that you don't bring the gray in. That will be good. Once you're dry, I want you to take your medium brush and you're going to cover those eyeballs in white. Cover up everything in there. We want this to dry the first. So we're going to paint it the first. That gives it the longest amount of time to dry. And I did not dry my eyes. So guess what? I'm getting gray eyes. Just make sure that when you're coloring your eyes in, you do a nice thin coat of white. It doesn't have to be thick with a bunch of globby lines. So if you've got some thick globs of paint in here, lightly go over and move to the other eye. That will make it dry faster. And that's what you want. And they're going to be a little gray because I didn't take my time and dry it like you guys did. I hope you did that. So you can see it pretty much covered up all those little lines that we first drew, right? Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. So while that's going on, we are going to take the paint off of that brush. We are going to take a little bit of black. Wait, let's take a little bit of blue over here. Our blue, we're going to make a separate pile. Take some blue and we're going to take a tiny bit of black. Just a little bit. We don't want too much because black will make this really, really dark. But we want to have a darker shade of blue. So I'm taking a little bit of black at a time and mixing it in with another pile of blue. We want to have straight blue somewhere else. So we need a darker color because we are going to go around all the important parts of our dinosaur that we want to keep. So we're going to go right here where his nose is, under his eye, and then his mouth. Now somehow my little top here isn't as big as I want it to be, so I'm going to make that even bigger. All right, so I need to make this just a little bit wider. Okay, here we go. Now go around all the edges of your dinosaur that you like, but not this part, because we're not keeping that part. That was wrong. That was just when we were adjusting our shape. So the parts that you want to keep, the good parts of your dinosaur, that's going to come down. We want it to go past his belly a little bit so that we can see that his neck is turning. So that's going to be dark blue. And we want his leg, not the toenail. That's going to be white. We don't want to color that toenail. And this line we're going to bring right across past that one because that's a back leg. So it goes in front. And then we go over the toenail, over the toenail, over the toenail, and across the bottom. And then there. But not right across. Leave that open right there. Okay? And then we're going to do his belly. And this leg comes up a little higher on his body. You want to see that. And you want to see that. But that line that we drew across there, don't do that. Over the toenail, over the toenail, over the toenail. And underneath. And then right over his back. Right over his back. Oop, the tail. You want his tail to be longer and way up there and curly, or have spikes on it. Maybe you don't even want a blue dinosaur. Maybe you want a purple one. As long as you make a darker shade of whatever color so that it stands out a little bit. Okay, that's all we're going to do with that. Wash your brush off a little bit. We are going to go around now with just the regular blue. We can actually even take some white if your blue is too dark. I've got a really dark blue and I want mine to be just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to make a big pile because we've got a big dinosaur to cover, and just make it a little bit lighter than the blue I already have because I think it's just a bit too dark. Still want to keep some plain white though, so don't mess your white up. Go underneath his eyeballs. Right past, see that line there that went all the way up when we first did a circle? We're coloring over that now. You don't need to see that. So cover over that. Go on the inside of the dark line that you just drew on the outside. In his mouth. It's okay if you touch that line. Mess it up a little bit, that's fine. On the top of your eyeball. On top. And then inside all of this, we're going to paint right up. You go ahead and touch those lines and sort of tap around and blend them out a little bit. Not going on the outside of his eyeballs with blue. Don't go on the outside. See up here? I didn't go on the outside. We went around with black later on. Okay, we're going to paint in this leg, but not the toenail. Painting this leg over top of that first line that was a mistake. And we're going to paint around that dark line, paint around the line in his belly. Paint around that line. Now we're going to cover up that line. I said, remember when we did the belly across? Cover it up. There, now you don't see it anymore. Pretty cool. Just going around all the edges of those dark colors that we did. So we're going with a big brush. It's going to be so much easier. We won't have to scribble and go outside the lines and stuff. And that dark there. If it disappears when you're doing this, the darker lines, you can just draw them back in after. There. Now I'm going to take the big brush. First I need to make a little bit more of this white blue. I ran out. A little more blue and white and make some more light blue. Turn my brush off. Okay, now I've got my big brush. I'm going to go into that color and I'm just going to color the whole dinosaur in now. Easter's coming up pretty soon. 2 days. I might have to do one more Easter theme. An Easter one for you guys. And a little bit cover up his nose. Almost out of my blue. Almost out. I have just enough. There we go. Now our blue dinosaur is all painted. There. I am going to go to my medium brush or my little round brush. Let's go with a little round brush. I'm going to use that one next. Get all the paint off. If there's paint on it, get it off. We're going to go to, remember what I said we went to the edge of our whites? Because I still need some really plain white. Because I have to do his toenails. Toenails. It's 3 toenails. Go. So using your light blue, some light blue, I'm going to add even just a little bit more white to it. We're going to draw some circles in his eyes. So I'm going to put like a little blue circle here. Go over to the other one, and I'm going to put a big one over here. Just so we got the light blue out. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. But try to get it like that. Wash that brush off. Wash that brush off. We are going to go to some black. And inside of that, we are just going to do a nice black circle. This is why the white had to be dry. My white's not really dry. So you can blow dry yours, and then this circle's bigger. And there, now he has googly eyes. Now he has googly eyes. He also needs a nostril. So right here, I'm going to do one big circle, and over here just a little one, sort of crooked to each other. Let's make that smile a little better. I'll go over that with black. Goofy. I love them. Okay, so I'm letting this dry here. While this is drying, let's paint our background. You guys can take your medium brush again, clean off all the paint. And what I want you to do is take your yellow. Take your yellow and you're going to go all the way around the edge of your dinosaur. Go around his eye. Now you don't have to do your background yellow. If you want your background to be a different color, you paint your background whatever color you want. I'm just doing my yellow. I like the way blue and yellow look together. So that's where I'm going. And I just do this so that, go around the edge, just so we don't have any accidents. It's better to do it this way than try to do it all with a big brush, because sometimes that big brush will cover over parts that you don't want covered over. No, I just did it there with the yellow, with my little brush, because I'm being careless. I'm not taking my time. And you can see with mine that I went all the way around it afterwards with black. So I'll probably do that again. Because it just really makes him pop a bit. His eyes will stand out more than with this gray that I started with. But I start with gray because if I make a mistake, gray is way easier to cover up than black. But it's fun to mess around with paint. It doesn't matter if you made a mistake. Who's gonna know? As long as you're having fun. The more you paint, the better you will get, I promise. It's just like anything, it's practice. It's just practice. I couldn't paint like this when I was 5, 6, 10. Now I'm almost 60 years old and I can paint just about anything. Because I practice all the time. Okay, so it's all outlined, you guys. All outlined. I'm going to clean my big brush off. It's got so much glue on it right now. That will make my background a really funny greeny color, and I don't really want that. So the water's super dirty. But if I get most of the paint off, I should be okay. Let's start down the corner and see. Ah, not too bad. I might get some kind of greens in there eventually, but I'm not worrying about it too much. Now you can go really fast because you're not going to cover over anything because you've colored really close. I just go a little bit slow when I'm close to the dinosaur, and then I go faster when I get away from him. I have to make his eyes a little bit shiny too. He doesn't have any shine on his eyes, so that's going to happen here in just a second. And we have to put some spots on his back. I did yellow spots on the last one. If you want to do white spots, you can do white spots or just circles. Just circles on him. Okay, so there's my background all done. I'm going to take my little round brush Got all the paint off of it. So for this one, I am going to put white circles on his back, and I still have some plain white. So I'm going to take that, and it doesn't matter where they are, just little round circles. They're like sideways ovals, really. Big ones, little ones. Even just maybe a polka dot. Maybe it's just a polka dot. Polka dot there. There you go. It's got those. I got a little bit of gray still. Oh, look what I did. I didn't clean my brush off. See what happens? Now I'm going to have blue eyes. Blue in my eyes. I see there's blue in my paint. I was going to cover up that gray. Make my eyes a little bit brighter. There we go. So now to get the spots in his eyes, I'm just going to take some white on my brush. You can either do it with the end with the bristles on it, or you can dip around, take the wooden part and dip it straight into the white. But you're going to put a white dot right in the top right hand corner, a little bit on the black and a little bit on the blue. Same with this one. A little bit on the black and a little bit on the blue. There you go. Now he has some little highlights. If you're brave, you can go all the way around your painting now with black. This is up to you. We've already got him dark blue, so it's up to you if you want to do that. If you want to just leave it there, that's good. It doesn't really matter. I'm going around my toenails with black because they got kind of missed here somehow. So I'm going to go around my toenails. That's really all that needs to be done for what I did today, and his eyeballs. So I'm going around, going over this gray with some black. Your big person might have to help you with this because it's kind of tricky. Or you can just go really slow and take your time. And then you just do it in little bits like this. Watch. A little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. Instead of just going really fast with a circle, you've already got your circle, so you're just going to color over that. Just go slow. There, see how they pop out? Oh, that looks really good. There you go. And there's your dinosaur. You love him? Some people can put like little triangles all down his back and color them in blue, and then he'll look like a stegosaurus. I'm not really good at those. And then just sign it wherever you want. I'm going to sign mine right here. Tammy. Done. There you go. And that is your dinosaur painting. All right. I hope you kids all have a wonderful Easter. Stay inside, play with your family nicely, and we'll see you next time. I think we're going to paint a baby Yoda. Okay, bye.